European Commission hitting Apple with a nearly $2 billion fine for allegedly favoring its own music streaming service over others like Spotify. Joining us to talk about this, as well as Nvidia breaking above a $2 trillion market cap, Doug Clinton, Deepwater Asset Management managing partner. And it's earlier, actually, Doug, I was saying it, is the inflection point, is Nvidia now taking some leadership away from Apple at this point?
I think it probably is. I mean, I think someone said this the other week. I heard the market is really all about Nvidia right now. I think as long as Nvidia continues to show this, it's seemingly unstoppable fundamental strength in their business, I think that the market in general can keep working. And so aside from Nvidia, I think you also see this with Microsoft versus Apple. I mean, Microsoft now is bigger than Apple. So it's really about that transition to an AI first world, and the most AI focused companies are benefiting.
Just looking at the history of technology, I'm trying to figure out how Apple bridges the move to AI. And in the past, we've seen leading tech companies that, for whatever reason, were supplanted by new entries in really important arenas. Microsoft somehow is doesn't seem like it was ready for maybe social media and some of those things. Here it is again. But is Apple up to the task of living in the AI world in terms of leadership?
I think they are, Joe, and we're going to learn a lot more later this year at WWDC. I don't think it's been unintentional. The last few weeks, the last month or so, we've heard Tim Cook talking more about this large language model project that they've been working on, talking more about AI, using the word. I mean, last year it almost felt like Apple thought AI was a bad word. And now we're hearing them talk a little bit more specifically about AI. And not only that, I mean, they're putting their money where their mouth is. They have reorganized what was their Titan car project now to really focus on AI. And so I think in June, when we get to WWDC, we start to hear what Apple has been working on in AI. We'll see whether or not they're up to the task. I do think they will be. They do have a history of generating, I think, these sort of magical products that combine hardware and software. So if they can figure out a way to do it again with AI, I think that they can still be a winner.
AI or Nvidia, it's very arcane, exactly how everything works. But the case has been made that there's a difference between setting up the AI and then deploying it, and that maybe upstarts or competitors are going to make inroads in that second step. What's it called? Inference. It's very arcane. You know what I'm talking about. What is it?
It's training and inference. You train the model, and then you do inference when somebody puts a prompt in a chat.
So you can get cheaper chips and maybe not as sophisticated to do the inference. I mean, is there going to be more inference versus setting up the models? Or in other words, is there a competitive threat someday to Nvidia?
It's hard to really see that playing out. We like to think about things in terms of odds. So if you had to set odds on it right now, today, odds are in 5 years, I think Nvidia is still the market leading, the dominant player in creating AI chips. We do think there's a chance that some competitors can come in and do inference, and maybe even specific kinds of inference. So inference on the edge specifically, so actually on a device, for example, versus inference in the data center are sort of two different use cases. In the data center, you don't have to think as much about power consumption. When you're on a device at the edge, you might be working on a mobile phone battery, and that means power really matters. So I think there are some use cases like that. We've invested in a company called Rain. They're producing chips that are focusing on some of those edge use cases. I think that's the one area where somebody could come along in the next 5 years or so and sort of disrupt Nvidia. But again, I'd say the odds are Nvidia is still in a really great place competitively.